I really like this recipe because it keeps the peaches from browning and reserves them for me so that I can eat them fresh as a snack or use them in baked goods or put them in smoothies. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do when you preserve your peaches in the freezer. I begin by blanching my peaches and peeling them. If you have any questions on how to do that, take a look at my blanching video. Then I'll slice them in half and take out the pit. Sometimes, like this one, the pit will split in half, and you just have to make sure that you get all of it because occasionally it'll leave just a little bit behind. And so that's when I just take my knife and kind of skim off that little edge there where it's stuck to. Then I'll slice these into 1/2 of an inch slices, and I'll do this with 8 large peaches. Now that I've got them all sliced up, I'll add 4 teaspoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. The lemon juice keeps it from browning, and the sugar actually brings all the juices to the surface, which removes the air from inside the pores of the peaches, which keeps it from freezer burning. Now I just gently mix this in because I want every peach to be coated with the lemon juice and the sugar. There's a little side effect of that sugar and lemon juice. It actually makes it taste really good. Then I'll take my peaches and put them on a silicone-lined baking sheet, and I'll spread them out. I want them to be pretty much 1 layer thick. This is probably pushing it just a little bit. So this is actually a little too close together. So I'm going to get 1 more baking sheet so that I can spread these out. The problem with having them too close together is that they'll actually freeze together. And so then you can't take them out separately, and you end up essentially with just a peach ice cube. And I want to be able to just take out 1 slice at a time if I want to. And then I'll spread this one, and like I said, you just want it 1 peach thickness. They can be touching a little bit, and you'll be able to break the little connecting points. But if they're on top of each other, then you're not going to be able to separate them. Now I'll place these in the freezer for 4 hours, and then I'll get back to them. Before I pull my peaches out of the freezer, I like to label my bag because if you don't, the condensation on the outside of the bag makes it really difficult to market, as well as the fact that it's very bumpy as well. So I just write what it is. You would think that that wouldn't be an issue, but sometimes I have nectarines in there, peaches, apricots. It's kind of nice to know exactly which one it is. And then I just put the month and the year. Then I open up my bag, and I like to kind of turn it inside out just a little bit up at that top part, because then it folds it open for me and it makes it a little bit easier to fill it. Now this is where I really like the silicone mats, and that's because if you reach underneath the silicone mat, you can kind of break it off. Otherwise you're using a spatula and it's kind of difficult. And then I just kind of go through and break each little peach from the ones next to it. Because there is liquid there, that liquid will freeze and kind of connect them to each other, which is fine. But this makes it so that I can take them out 1 at a time, and it's just a lot better. If I'm making a small smoothie, I may just want a small handful of these, so I don't want to have to take them all out at the same time. I try to work somewhat quickly at this point because I don't want them to start to thaw. Otherwise, when I put them back in the freezer, they'll just connect to each other anyways. And that's the whole reason I put them on the tray to start off with. Now I'll close up my bag, and I try to make it so that there's as little air in there as possible. You could do a vacuum seal if you wanted to. The downside of that is that then you can't open and close it later. And then I make it as flat as I can, and I'll place it in my freezer where it will be good for up to a year.